Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 on Duel between the Carbon team in the upper left corner. Our xR3G1x, we'll probably go with R3 for the rest of the game, in the Tomcat Striker, and his teammate happydeath in the Classic Osprey, and their opponents, the blue team on the bottom right, SkyGuard777 in the Shark Neo, and NiumppyX in the Shark Helix, which is a little interesting. I've never seen this player. I don't know if it's a Smurf or not, but you know, never wanna speculate too much. You know, because you know that's all it is, actually, speculation. We do have a couple of bunkered flamers going down by R3, and a few flamers going down here as well. And yeah, a few stasis mines set in the front here to prevent mechs from transforming, I guess. That's a little bit interesting, or maybe to prevent dropped light units or something like that to from doing that much damage. Or well, it only slows them down now, so it's a little weird. But we do have SkyGuard doing a little bit of boomer harass, and R3 doing a little bit of moneymaker harass as well. And we'll start to go for it now. The boomers haven't been able to take down one. This Gaddy was not able to actually prevent SkyGuard from getting 2 socket units killed, and R3 killing 1 moneymaker. Well, SkyGuard does come back and respond to it. Does have a Seeker in queue, but you know, R3 does get a second Seeker. And in the meantime, we do have Niumpy. I don't know how to say that, but does get another moneymaker as well. Whoa, how many have been killed? Okay, just this one went down here, but SkyGuard did get R3 on the ground. Not after R3 got that third moneymaker though. And it does look like the, who is that? That is Niumpy. Niumpy. Okay, I'll try to get that as best as I possibly can. But just moneymaker kill after kill. A little bit crazy. So the blue team is definitely ahead in terms of that. 8 moneymakers down on the field for the Carbon team. It looks like 5 on the blue side. So that's a little weird. I don't know why. Oh, I guess they did rebuild pretty quickly. Yes, they have been rebuilt already. Blue team trying to do a little bit of harass on Carbon team's units. Have they been able to kill anything? I don't really see anything finished off yet, and does look like a normal mid-fight will start eventually. But oh, Niumpy putting some tanks down at the close forward. I guess in combination defense and maybe eventual push out. And SkyGuard trying. Okay, yeah, blue team just trying to get something killed. I don't think they've been able to get anything though. Yeah, just some smoking units there left and right, but nothing too major. And more stasis mines going down by the blue team, which is a little interesting to see. It's not that common nowadays. You know, just because the stasis mine is pretty much, has been dramatically nerfed, you know, in recent history, and does look like they have a kind of a spread, kind of weird, but now just going to put it back here. But the Carbon team getting pretty good surround. Oh, but the blue team has pushed up a lot of jokers. Where the hell did that come from? I guess from the fort, and we'll get a pretty good surround on this middle outpost, while we do have the blue team still, okay, but more jokers reaching this outpost here. I guess the middle outpost probably got filled on waypoints, but the blue, okay, yeah, the Carbon team, or the blue team, still putting up the stasis mines there. The blue team getting this middle outpost under their control, have a pretty good surround with jokers, but a lot of more heavy attacking units here by the Carbon team, and it does look like SkyGuard and Niumpy will be able to hold this under the control for at least a little while, as the Carbon team hasn't really been able to clear that many of the you know, the blue units that are over here. And it does look like the Carbon team is losing the fight over here, 52-44. The blue team's a little bit ahead at this point. R3 gonna be finished off there by Niumpy on the ground, or at least with those rockets, the Helix missiles. And happydeath does not get finished off though. But the most of the Carbon team's units have been finished off over here. Just a couple of random tanks and a Gaddy sitting over here. Not too much over there left for the Carbon team, blue team. Actually, those stasis mines, I think they're actually doing pretty good. As far as I know, they don't have the fire rate anymore. They only slow down unit progress. So definitely something to think about when you are using them. But you know, blue team actually using them pretty well. I think you know, obviously the Carbon team can't really push in the way that you might want to if you wanted to do kind of a counter push kind of thing. Oh, and SkyGuard did get finished off, I guess, by enemy units. Oh no, probably by neutrals, because it doesn't say anything in that kill ticker in terms of what unit actually finished you off. And yeah, the stasis mine's still going down, so it's gonna, you know, this is I would say this is more of a psychological trick than anything by the blue team, because you know, it'll just you know, you are the Carbon team, you see those stasis mines, and you kind of think to yourself, oh, I can't push in that way just because the stasis mines will pretty much screw me in that area if I try to do something. Oh, but they have pushed in from the top. A lot of their units have been finished off though. You know, SkyGuard and Niumpy are now responding pretty effectively. And the majority of those Carbon units have gone down. There is just that one Longhorn left that will eventually be killed pretty quickly. Oh, and they are pushing in from the left side as well. And the stasis mines have not really deterred them that much. And honestly, the stasis mines aren't really being that effective. The Gemini are getting pretty good surround. Gemini versus Patchers and Jokers are going to do pretty well, I would say. And the Carbon team have not... Okay, yeah, the Carbon team has lost the battle for the most part right now. And R3 getting killed once again, this time by a Joker. But he was in the air, so I guess that was after... That was post-transform latency getting that kill. Or at least what happens is units do focus you. Oh, and the blue team actually did send up here as well. Okay, so if you Longhorn were sent, neutralize that outpost, the Carbon team will be able to get it back under the control. But, you know, the blue team has a huge unit advantage at this point. And Niumppy doing scout at the top does see that it's not really that well defended. Oh, does grab the box. Oh yeah, it's been up for about 20 seconds now. This box still hasn't been grabbed yet. I would assume because Niumppy recognized that right box was grabbed, they might want to go for that left box as well. But now we do have some Jackals, or some Jokers actually, being sent out by the blue team. And where are they sending? Oh, they are sending on capture, so they are going for this left outpost. They did not set them on Y, which might have been a better move, actually, especially with the option to switch to T for this very lightly defended outpost. But this outpost is pretty well surrounded. However, it's well surrounded by Carb units as well, and the majority of the tanks are Gemini, and I probably will be able to clear the rest yeah, the Carbon team will definitely win this battle. Both of the blue players have been killed. And now the Carbon team does have a little opportunity to start to move up. Will they start to leapfrog? Yes, Happy Death is starting to move up. And R3, what is R3 going to be doing? Just going to be shooting and trying to kill what he can. The blue team now starting to respawn and come back to the fight. They have lost a fair amount of units over here, but it's not, the battle is definitely not won for the Carbon team quite yet, as they have lost a few tanks over here. And actually, oh, that Gaddy actually that did get set down has been finished off. And, okay, so artillery also pointing out for the Carbon team. However, the blue team doesn't really have much left over here in this area. 63 to 47. Where is the majority of the blue team's units? A lot of them are set in defense over here. Okay, a lot of them are set in defense over here. And, yeah, okay, apparently R3 does announce to Happy Death that he is making tech. And so let's see how well they can hold up against Niumppy and SkyGuard. In the meantime, it does look like Happy Death has been able to save that artillery, and Niumppy was not able to finish it off. So that's pretty good for the Carbon team. Let's see if they can actually hold out until their tech units start to pump out. And it does look like just Longhorn in queue for Happy Death. And R3 with not much credits in his bank, so let's see. Okay, well, I mean, the blue team already even has a goalie out on the field, and even a Sonya over there for artillery purposes, or for artillery deflection purposes on the blue side. And I don't know when that was grabbed. Was that just now? No, I guess that was a little bit earlier. But either way, the blue team is still ahead in this fight. Okay, now Happy Death is starting to move out from the close outpost, and pretty much every attacking unit is being sent out. Let's see what the blue team, if they can actually respond to this properly. Honestly, this Grinder and this goalie are going to be able to mount a pretty good defense, and there's a lot of Longhorn defense as well. I would expect, yes, Stasis Blast going down by SkyGuard, and a little bit of leapfrogging over here by Happy Death. Where is R3 coming down to contribute his fire as well? Does he have sword? Yes, he does. Probably wants to start spamming that sword, and yes, he actually does that as well. The middle outpost has gone down to neutral, and let's see if the Carbon team can actually get a pretty good surround. They are getting a pretty good surround, but the blue team still has a lot of units over here. Oh, Grinder going down by R3. That will pretty much do a lot of work, to be honest. And there's a lot of light attacking units, so the Grinder will take quite a while to go down. And, okay, now the blue team is starting to send out with a lot of Jokers from the close. Probably going to get another surround on this middle outpost, and the Carbon team doesn't really have that much units over here as well, or anymore. And it does look like they are, oh, that's interesting. They are going this way. They are going for this outpost. I'm not really sure why that was the case, because I guess maybe the middle outpost was still under Carbon control at the time that he sent on capture. I could have sworn that it was already neutral. However, the blue team has gotten a surround on this close or in this forward outpost, which probably would have been better if they got a surround on the middle outpost, because you know, this is pretty well defended. All the Jokers have pretty much been killed, and now there is still the contest for mid. And the blue team's trying to drop as many units as they possibly can. They have been able to grab this outpost under control, at least for now. Let's see if the Carbon team can actually get this neutralized. I would assume the neutralization would be a priority, but the blue team has been able to drop full bulb infantry now. And, well, quite a lot of units going left and right and back and forth. Grinder down for the Carbon team, and the majority of units over here are under Carbon control. And, the blue team still holding out a little, you know, pretty well, but the Carbon team still has a couple of units pouring in. Happy Death and SkyGuard, you know, battling here to get whatever they can killed. And now Niumppy as well. The green team, or wow, I keep naming colors that are not actually in the match, but the Carbon team has been able to win this battle for the most part, and they will be able to hold this middle outpost. I'm pretty sure they have a lot of units, and the Carbon team, or the blue team, will probably not be able to get the kind of neutralization that they want. A lot of Jokers are here, but a lot of defending units for the Carbon team, so you know, not too many Jokers over here as well, so they won't be able to get the kind of massive surround of Jokers that they have been able to earlier in this game. And now the Carbon team has been able to take control of this middle outpost. These stasis mines completely going to waste, as blue team has pretty much ignored them at this point. They might want to you know, reposition them for the better of their position in this game. However, we do have a few Longhorn going down by Niumppy. I don't know if he set them to attack or capture or anything like that. He has been able to, well, I don't know if he's been able to neutralize anything at all, or not neutralize, but get anything killed. And you know, it's still Carbon team holding over here. This one Longhorn has been killed. The outpost has gone down to neutral, but it's not really going to get the blue team that far. It's way behind enemy lines, so it's not really going to do that much in terms of you know, for the blue team's favor. And at this point, it will be the blue team. Yeah. The blue team now does have Berthas out on the field, though, so that is one big thing. Oh, the Carbon team does as well. So definitely both teams playing the meta level and have the necessary units. I guess it's kind of a messed up thing to say, but the necessary units out of the field that they have been that are pretty much necessary to gain the majority advantage in these high tier games. The SkyGuard almost getting finished off before getting back to his outpost. But we do have Niumppy again with more Longhorn drop for fort attack. Does kill one of the moneymakers, but forces happydeath to split his attention, so we will be able to get a moneymaker killed and a little bit of fort damage. Well, happydeath is here to heal it up, so let's see what kind of repositioning Niumppy can get. Niumppy does lose one of the Longhorns, but he still has one doing a little bit of damage. The Carbon team still dramatically winning this mid-fight. As there are Sonya or something down. We have a jammer down on the field for the Carbon team, so it will be okay, and they will not be that hurt by these Berthas out on the field for the blue team. Even though they are firing away, the deflection will be pretty dramatic. Oh, even two jammers as well. Jammers very, very cheap, so I think that's kind of one of the reasons that it has been the unit of choice for you know, artillery deflection in the high tier teams, because you can have multiple out on the field. And you know, to be honest, Sonya doesn't get sniped that often, so the low cost of the jammer is kind of worth it, especially because you will be able to get a little bit out you know, earlier in the game, which definitely does help quite a lot. Bertha does get repositioned. There's no jammer down on the field for the Carbon team in this area, but Bertha does take quite a long time to fire, and now will finally, oh, it's still a little bit having a hard time finding a target. I think it did finish off the Ratchet just now, but the blue team getting pushed back all the way back to this like all the way back to the borders of this the boundaries of this forward outpost, and they are losing a lot of units. It's 68 to 52. So it's not a dramatic difference, but the blue team, I mean, if you just look at their position, I guess a lot of their units are, you know, allocated to back here. They don't really have too much in defense, but, you know, moneymakers and such all take up upkeep, and the Carbon team now moving out. I would guess this is on capture. No, this is on attack, but happydeath is starting to reposition, is starting to reassign their command to capture, and this grinder straying away. Definitely need to try to mix that in with the battle, put that on hold position, and the blue team has lost this forward outpost. They might be able to I don't think they'll be able to get this back, to be honest. They could push everything they have. That might be their only option at this point, and mix in a couple of whatever light units they can actually afford to make at this point. We do have a few Jokers coming out by SkyGuard, and Niumppy with another Longhorn. Probably, oh, I thought he was going to go with more fort attack, but instead going for this outpost attack. And Longhorn definitely not a good decision to go with if you're going to just go for a neutralizing on the outpost. And Niumppy getting finished off in the air by R3, and happydeath has been able to get a pretty good surround, not even taking the time to take this outpost under their control, pushing out even more. I don't know if that was just a lingering T command, but it does look like the Carbon team is moving out. Oh, these actually were moved out from the fort. However, it will probably be shut down pretty easily by this Carbon team. R3 with his striker sword, will and happydeath as well, supporting a lot of attacking units for the Carbon team. And these Longhorn have reached this this close outpost, or not this close outpost. This is the fort, and happydeath reassigns them to capture. So he's not going to go in for the kill. He's going to go for the capture in this outpost, the neutralization, and the surround. SkyGuard will be, oh yeah, with that stasis. That stasis very, very effective, especially on, you know, pretty much only on moving units. And, well, and Happy Death with even more supporting Longhorn over here, so they will probably be able to get this surrounded. Although the blue team is going to be able to take this outpost back under the control, I think. Yes, Niumppy does get it, but what will they be able to bring out of their queue? Niumppy doesn't really have that much at all, and SkyGuard doesn't have anything in his build queue. Oh, and Happy Death does transform to avoid that stasis blast from SkyGuard. And SkyGuard not able to finish off Happy Death in the air, and Happy Death actually dogfighting that Osprey, which is a little bit funny. Not uncommon to see actually Ospreys dogfighting, because their slowdown, or I guess their speed penalty while shooting is not very low. So they, you know, flying around with an Osprey while firing is pretty much the same speed as flying around with an Osprey without firing with nothing in your cargo. So it's pretty great to dogfight an Osprey. The only thing is their air DPS is pretty low, and you know, they don't really have that great turn speed. But because they have really high health, it's sometimes really great to dogfight, even against the Neo, you know, with an Osprey. And Happy Death going to be able to keep quite a lot alive. A few Jokers dropped, but you know, with his Osprey heal, oh, and even has the ultimate ability, will be able to keep his units fairly maintain that unit cluster, and they are moving up. They do have a Bertha firing on the close outpost here. Oh well, this is not really positioned very well, so it's pretty much firing against this area over there. And still, these stasis mines not picked up by the blue team. A little bit hilarious to see, but the blue team has been able to get a pretty good surround and defense on this forward outpost, so they are still in the game, although it is 75 to 50. The Carbon team outnumbering them 1.5 to 1, or I guess, yeah, 1.5 to 1. I don't know a better way to put that. I guess it's 3 to 2. I guess it's probably a better way to phrase that ratio. And let's see, the blue team doesn't really have that much left. Honestly, the Carbon team can just start to ferry or push that close outpost, and it won't be that dangerous for them. The blue team has a fair defense at the fort. It's 2 goalies and 2 Longhorn, which is pretty strong. But if the Carbon team just holds out a little bit longer, pushes this close outpost, which is mostly defended by light units, and Longhorn does get finished off by the Bertha, so it is good. They are all good. And now the Carbon team still holding that middle outpost. The blue team has not moved up on it. There's actually not that much defending this this middle outpost as well. So if they do maybe like a mass jackal send, not even mass, maybe something like 5 or 6 or 7, would probably be enough to neutralize that middle outpost and get it well surrounded. And as long as they have mech support, they might be able to actually hold the middle outpost, or not hold it, but hold it away from the Carbon team. But the Carbon team doing such a good job leapfrogging, and look at this nice spread out line, or not even line, this spread out cluster of units, so it's not too much in danger of getting bombed or getting attacked by artillery, so they don't really have to do that much maintenance because of this great unit spread. And even still, Happy Death has been here pretty much the whole time to keep his units alive, to heal them up as much as he possibly can. And actually, they are creating a pretty fair unit tank cluster over here. They are starting to move into this forward outpost, but they are not really supporting it, which is a little bit interesting to see. Happy Death, yeah, they are still not supporting it. Is it really being used as a distraction or something like that? Because I mean, the Carbon team really should support their push. Happy Death trying to keep whatever he can alive away from that. Oh, and the grinder does actually go down too. I think that was R3's ground missiles. And now we will have Happy Death and R3 moving up on this forward outpost. The blue team is losing a lot of footing at this point. 60 to 73. It's actually getting pretty close. I think a lot of that unit cap is actually taken up by Jokers. So you know, it's a little bit hard to say because they aren't really balanced exactly by cost, which is probably a better way to think of how much power in terms of how much attack power a team might have on the field. But this forward has gone down to neutral. The blue team doesn't really have that much left over here. R3 and Happy Death tearing it up. And they are just getting thinned out even more and more. The blue team should probably think about pulling back here and just focusing on this close outpost, maybe putting up some artillery to fight against these the units they have over here. Oh, actually, there was a Bertha sitting right here, but they have lost this forward outpost. It does go back up to them. Oh, maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. No, it does not. The last creep did get finished off, and Happy Death will be able, okay, yeah, and the blue team now starting to move out, or move back, I guess. Oh, starting to push out some Jokers, probably not a good idea. They're really desperately trying to keep this forward fight at the forward, and I don't really think it's going to happen. Yeah, they have been able to take it under control. Do they have anything in queue to be able to really take advantage of it? Oh, yeah, SkyGuard does have some Jokers, but, you know, if Jokers, it's not really that good at holding. You know, at the very least, or at the very most, Jokers, what they pretty much do when they are in a hold, you know, in a defensive holding position is distraction fire, you know, and they start taking damage from attacking units, and Happy Death getting killed on the ground by Niumppy. with those air-to-ground missiles that the Helix does have. And R3 here all alone, but he's probably fine as there are a lot of Carbon units getting surrounded. 84 to 55, the gap is growing in favor of the Carbon team. And now, I mean, more and more Jokers being sent by the by the blue team, but lots of Gemini over here for the Carbon team. So I don't really think it's that much of a worry. And even another Gemini coming out by R3 already has. Well, he's already level 15 and already has level 3 rockets. So that's very, very strong. And yeah, definitely 6 rockets, 6 missiles, rockets, whatever you want to call it, are extremely effective. You just need to spam them as much as you possibly can. The cooldown is not that high. I think even with a higher levels of the ability, I think the cooldown might decrease. And happydeath getting a kill on Niumppy in the air there and finishing off that Longhorn on the ground. They will be able to eventually take back this close outpost. But SkyGuard just continually pumping out Jokers and actually doing a pretty good job keeping the Carbon team away from their areas. I guess a lot of it did have to do with the pressure they put on that forward. Stasis Mine's still there. Man, just seeing those blue dots is just a little bit hilarious. But oh, we do have a T push at a really funny position here. So they did split up to different outposts because they did consider certain outposts closer to them at the time. But look at this humongous push by this Carbon team. Lots of Longhorn moving out. And this will probably be it. There's just 4 tanks, 2 of them goalies, yes, but happydeath. Oh my God, they are changing it to T. This will definitely be enough. Man, that is a lot of Longhorn. A few of them are going to be strained to the fort, but that's probably not that big of a deal. The Carbon team has such a high, you know, a big lead, and R3 also supporting this this Longhorn push a little bit, but not too concerned about that. The Carbon team will be able to get a good surround on this close outpost. That was probably the most tanks set to T that I've ever seen, or, you know, switched to T from Y that I've ever seen, especially on this map. Yeah, usually with that quantity, set to T, it's probably something to switch to, like, it's probably something like Jokers or Jackals, something light, even Zippers or something like that. But yeah, definitely have not seen that kind of quantity of tanks, you know, gone from Y to T. The blue team still trying to fight back here. It does have an artillery facing this close outpost, but I think if the Carbon team just pushes out with everything, they can probably win at this point. But we do have a drop, a Joker drop by SkyGuard. It is hitting the corner, so it's doing quite a lot of damage. And SkyGuard, I guess, typing to Niumppy at this point. Going for a moneymaker kill, maybe not the best decision because, well, I mean, at this point, they don't really have that much of their life drained. So maybe going for the economic advantage is probably the best idea, but either way, the Joker has been, well, now will be finished off, and happydeath has been able to mount a pretty good defense. The Carbon team could probably finish it at this point. They have a lot of units here, and a lot of defensive units here for the blue team, so I guess it's pretty understandable that they don't push out quite yet. You know, if the Carbon team has scouted that fort defense, it's going to be pretty hard to break that, and they are actually going for the last outpost. Oh, they already have gone for it. Pretty good surround, and they have been able to grab it under the control. The timer will start for the blue team in 23 seconds. They will start to take damage off that domination state that the Carbon team has been able to grab off of them, but I don't even know if they'll be able to have a chance to do that. The Carbon team is starting to move out from this right side. Will probably start to move out from this left side. Niumppy dropping a grinder. What good will that do? Probably a little good. They might be able to finish off 1 or 2 Longhorn before it gets, oh, weirdly enough, I think it was set on capture, so that was not really that effective, but the Carbon team pushes in right as the blue team has pushed out, and this will probably be the end of the game. I don't know if the blue team would have been able to hold it out even with that defense still sitting at their fort, but yes, this is going to be it. The blue team, I mean, the Carbon team with quite a lot of tanks over here and pretty much dominating the majority of the second half of this game. xR3G1x and happydeath, probably R3G1 because usually people surround their name with X's, but R3G1 and happydeath getting this ranked 2v2 victory on Duel over SkyGuard777 and NiumppyX. The blue team getting that middle outpost pretty early, but the Carbon team with a great unit composition. Whoa. my notifications on my phone are loud. But either way, yeah, the Carbon team with great unit composition, you know, they were able to just slowly make their way and take that middle outpost with a lot of sending back and forth. That middle outpost actually did go up and down. The blue team not holding it the way that they needed to, and a lot of I don't know if you want to call it miscommanded units, but you know, stuff like instead of going to the mid, they went to the forward and all that stuff. So they weren't really able to get the advantage that probably could have won them the game. But the Carbon team, once getting that middle outpost, did not let up. Happy Death with that great unit, that unit spread, and it just was not possible pretty much for the blue team, especially using that Joker style that they were using. Probably was not really possible for them to gain back an advantage in this game. So yes, the victory does go to the blue team, or to the Carbon team. So if you guys have any great games like this, make sure to send them in to me at RUI0x@gmail.com or RUI on Steam as well. All right, guys. Once again, this is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.